lightning. Oh, I should have kept it as it was. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, looks great. Welcome to another typology interview. We have Marten. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going really great. I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, you're nervous? Kind of okay.
Yeah.
You,
but
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I did some breathing exercises and stuff before.
Ah, there you go. So where do you think this nervousness comes from? I
have no idea, actually.
No idea. Just, interesting. Because you're an EP. I know you're an ENFP because you told me just now. I don't know anything more than that.
Precisely.
Yeah,
precisely. Right. But I turned into an INFP a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah.
I used to think I was an INFP before I got my typing.
Right. Yeah, you were saying. Yeah. So why did you think you were an INFP?
I took the test.
Oh, I see.
And,
okay.
And the first time I got INFP, and I was convinced that I was an extrovert. Oh, sorry, introvert.
Introvert. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Precisely.
Yeah, because of that, right?
Yeah.
So and now introvert and extrovert it's a completely different. It's a completely different meaning.
Different in OP.
Well, also from Jung, based on Jung's definitions, it's completely different as well.
Okay. Yeah. I see. Yeah, so I took the test and sort of started to cry because it was so sort of relatable and so, oh, that's me.
Right.
Sort of,
yeah. Oh, it should be really close. It should be really close.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's close, and I didn't think too much about it, and but it's sort of funny how the whole stereotypes and aspects of being an INFP, how you can sort of take them in and sort of apply them on yourself.
Right.
And
yeah.
sort of
confirmation bias sort of thing.
Yeah. And now I sort of see that many of them actually were ENFP qualities.
Right.
But I sort of have had applied them on the INFP category.
Interesting. Okay, so like when did you get started in typology then? I
got started about 1.5 years ago. Actually, I took the test. An ex made me take the test
on a
long car drive, sort of, and it was really, I got really moved because there was so much sort of that made sense, sort of, and with the whole intuition thing and sort of, oh, that's why nobody gets me,
right?
Stuff like that, sort of. I thought then, and. Yeah, but then it took like 1 year more, so perhaps this was like 2 years ago, and then I started to get a bit more interested in it. I looked it up more, and I looked up the cognitive functions and sort of learned more about them. And for the last year, actually, since last August 2018, I have been consuming like tons of videos. I've watched everything by C.S. Joseph, Megan Lavota, Eric Thor. I mean, all of them. And since December, I've been into objective personality.
Right. Okay. And so you're seeing all of these different schools, different ways of looking at typology. Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. And even though I was consuming so much of it, so many videos, I still thought I was an INFP because it made sense to me, and I thought like ENFPs must be much more extroverted than I am.
Right.
Sort of, because I've always been kind of shy.
So that means you probably have sleep high in your stack then.
No, actually it doesn't.
No,
I'm a consume play.
Consume play, and then do you go to sleep after that, or just blast after that? Because your blast isn't blast.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
Your blast last.
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising.
I'm a bit amazed at myself. I suppose I'm rambling.
Does that sit with you, the animals stacks?
Yeah, I think that was what I was guessing, sort of the blast.
So you're the most extroverted kind of ENFP you could be.
I am?
Yeah.
Aren't I a bit more to the side?
No, because you go right to play and then blast. There's no sleep there. Well, I guess you instead of you're not a jumper,
Oh
like
yeah,
a straight ENFP.
I have a sleep as third.
Third. Yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I might have got you
No,
wrong there.
it was me. You're right. You said blast last. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Was distracted. My bad. So okay, so then
But it
so
is,
you're more a balanced ENFP. That's interesting. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And I was
And blast last,
absolutely,
you get that? You do get blast last?
yeah. I mean,
Really?
I have really trained a lot the last year to talk to people, sort of, and
Right.
making words into a coherent
Uh-huh.
sentence, because because before was always like, and I don't know, yeah, like
Are
that.
you you're into music, so are you like MF or
Yeah,
MM or something?
I am MF.
Right, okay. So you're like a
Mm.
really similar type to I don't know if you've met him. Wow, his name ran away from me.
There is
Um
one in Sweden, actually, I think.
Another one in
Uh,
Sweden. Australian guy.
Nicholas.
Oh yeah, Nicholas, right. That's right.
Yeah,
Is he also MF? Because I know he's doing a lot of visual stuff.
yeah, with the exact same time, I think.
Exact same type. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
watched his
interviewed him.
interview with you. Yeah,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
yeah,
You guys are actually you do look a little similar as well in some way.
yeah. That's exactly
It's
what
kind of weird.
Dave and
Yeah.
Shan said. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
they
Uh,
actually thought that they had typed me before.
right. So I was
Like
thinking of
what?
Jonathan
Yeah,
Knott is also MF, but I guess he's consumed
yeah,
sleep play.
yeah. I think it's consume sleep. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
precisely.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
So that would put your NE as feminine.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I see. Like, there's not many masculine NE ENFPs that I've seen.
Mm,
It was just Shannon, I
okay.
guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
So like feminine NE, is that something that you see as your savior? Is that something that's really predominant for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is. It's like very connected to um, humor, I think, and sort of a
Humor. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think so, at least. But it's sort of I have this way of getting very much energy from concepts
Uh-huh.
and sort of discussing different concepts, and I move very quickly between them, and I like to sort of connect totally unrelated stuff,
Right. Yeah.
often
And you have that double
in
activated consume. So like, do you see yourself as consuming a lot of concepts?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do, and
Right.
I do see the blast last also, in that I have a hard time
Right.
to get from the planning stage to the actual doing.
Right. To get started. Yeah. That's the aspect of
Yeah,
it.
and also in like describing stuff to people, sort of,
Hmm.
and teaching. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so let's talk about this feminine any a bit. How do you see
Mm,
it? How do you see it? Do you see interconnections between things all the time? Are you How do you describe your any?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, my view of any is kind of affected by all the other types of MBTI I've studied, sort of,
Right.
the other YouTube channels. So it might be a bit off in that sense, but I do love sort of the new ideas, new concepts,
Uh
and
huh.
just more concepts, sort of. Like
Right.
I've been consuming so much like personal development stuff, and
Hmm.
sort of self-help things on YouTube, sort
And
of.
will you remember the concepts you've acquired?
No,
No, you won't
no,
remember them.
I will just keep going. Yeah,
You'll just keep
I will
going.
like do like for 3 years ago I started learning. I read the whole The Secret book and stuff, but
Okay.
I just read half of it, and then I moved to something else, and I sort of never tried the things
Uh huh.
for as long as you should try them.
And do you still remember all of the concepts from the secret book?
Yeah, I remember most
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I should really become better at sort of storing them, and finishing one thing and then moving on to
Uh huh.
another, because it's I pick something here and something here, and all over the place, sort of,
Right.
and try
And
to make them all together, and I get pretty confused a lot of the time.
and you get that big desire for freedom, that pleasure and freedom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I notice it a lot with music, because during my musical background, I played about 7 instruments,
Oh wow. Okay.
and each of them at some point has been my main instrument,
Right.
and now I have 4 left. I think a couple of ones I've left on the way, but so now I'm singing opera and playing electric bass. So
in
at the same
in
time,
a klezmer
as a
band.
profession. No, not in the band. Sort of in the band,
Okay.
I just play electric bass, but
Okay.
or double bass. But
Right.
then I also have the opera thing going.
Interesting.
Um, yeah.
Do, is that strange for you that you've been in this band? You were telling me you were in the band for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Is that strange? Is that like characteristic of you to be in so committed to something for so long?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
Right. So it sort of just
No.
happened like that. Like you didn't know this was gonna be your
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It just happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And you
think there
didn't want to
was
move on to something else. It's just
no
sort of
thing
like
is.
living in the moment continuously.
Yeah. It's a bit like I always wanted to do everything. So
Right.
and I don't want to let go of doing something. Sort of.
Oh, I see.
So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so it's a bit like I've always had that band, but then I've sort of done all these other stuff as well, sort of. And
Right.
my problem has always been that one of my problems has been that I don't know what to put in all the effort on. Sort of that,
Right.
and that's something I learned. Like if you want to become an opera singer, it's like 10 years of studying and
Right.
singing and practicing and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and yeah, sort of developing your voice and your instrument. So and it feels I have put in the hours, but I need to do it so much more. Um, because like after an opera concert, I get such an urge to go and play electric rock guitar.
Right.
Sort of
To balance
yeah,
yourself out, not to go all in on
yeah,
one
I have
thing.
to, yeah. So sort of I have to satisfy the need for variation
Variety.
within
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
uh, but at the same time get results in one instrument or one niche, or what you say.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's been my problem, that I'm too spread out, sort of.
Yeah. But like it still seems, even though you're spread out, it still seems like you're quite focused on your music.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
still have music and you still have,
yeah.
even though you have a little bit of like a diverse musical array that you do, you're still focused on music, and you just want to focus on
Mm.
one kind of music.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
Right.
it's a bit like that. But I see this whole wanting to move other directions in, like, I'm very
Right.
psychology interested,
Right. Yeah.
and recently I want to learn more about dancing, sort of,
Uh-huh.
and also theater acting. Um,
And
and
so
sort of I
how does your FI
yeah.
tie into this as well? Like your FI has to, like, I guess MF, you would be masculine FI. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Mhm.
wouldn't move on what you like. Like once you like something, you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I was just thinking about it this morning, and sort of I imagined my masculine FI as the sort of driving force behind everything. Sort of that
Right.
just I want to do this, and it's such a strong force that propels me forward.
Yeah.
Uh, but it problem is that it doesn't work with only that. It needs the help of the other functions, or how we should
That's
describe it.
right. Yeah. What about in terms of like values? Do you have strong values? Do you
Yeah,
not move on the values?
yeah. I've become a bit more movable, sort of, but I'm very firm on what I like in music, for example. sort of. And I think,
or what's considered good in music.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Um, so actually, I thought I had feminine FI because I get quite moved easily, sort of.
Okay.
Like I can start crying just thinking of a certain piece or
I
something.
see. Okay.
But then I thought that that is actually the masculine FI because I am rarely moved by outer circumstances. Sort of like if there are tons of people, I'm in a group standing and they're all cheering at something and valuing something, then my first instinct is to move away from it and sort of be very suspicious and like, oh, what are they doing?
Interesting. But okay, so then how would your TE move though? Because like your TE would be movable.
Yeah, I think I am not. I always try to keep harmony before sort of engaging and before what is correct. Sort of in a group, I always try to make sure everyone is heard and that sort of no one gets upset. I think so. That's how I see the feminine TE, but it's a bit unclear to me still.
Yeah.
That one.
Is agreement important to you? That people agree on reasons?
I don't know actually. I mean, it's both. I have a really hard time to separate the ideas of masculine FI and masculine TE, sort of, because masculine FI would be like, yeah, shabby with what I value, and I do have that.
Right. Yeah, but shoving on other people is more masculine TE, right?
Yeah, precisely. And I don't shove on other people usually.
Okay.
Actually, that was one of. I think that was one of the things that made me think I was an INFP, because I felt I had such identity
Right.
issues and with the tribe and the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, and
Yeah, because you have
because
that
I
feminine
can.
NE. It's feminine NE is pretty weak and movable, and
Yeah,
that masculine FI is pretty strong. Yeah.
Feminine Annie gets ideas, sort of. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can't
sort
stop
of.
them.
No, precisely. And because I was telling Dave and Shan about like how I can be walking down a street and I can hear someone laughing
Uh-huh.
a couple of meters away, uh, and I get this idea that they're laughing about me, sort
I
of.
see.
But
Okay.
they said that that's actually more to do with the masculine SI.
That's
I
interesting.
think that's what they said at least.
I get the same thing. That's interesting. Because like NF,
Yeah,
if you're NF, you should be able to pick up on these kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like
How
you
do you
do you
pick
pick up
up?
on vibes? Do you pick up on the on
Yeah,
how
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, this
a
you do
lot.
get.
Yeah.
So tell me about how you pick up on the vibes of people and rooms and stuff. Or
Well, sort of. I have quite an easy time to tell if someone is mad or angry. Sort of. I listen to how they say things and how they act. Sort of where they're looking. I'm quite what you say. I notice it a lot. Sort of.
do
I'm
you
very
feel
aware if
do you feel
the energy
responsible for
someone
the
is giving.
vibe and the energy in the room? Do you try to affect the energy in the room? Do you feel responsible for what's happening there, or for at least your own vibe and your own energy?
It's pretty hard to say because I do both in different occasions. But I suppose I don't feel responsible. It's more like I want to everything to be quite in harmony,
Uh-huh.
but it's gotten
It's not your
better.
job.
Or no,
What
no, it's
about how you
not.
feel?
I don't relate to the whole like EJ
Uh-huh.
um, caring for people, like
No, yeah.
people with
No, but what about how you feel? Are you responsible for your own vibe, your own energy levels, your own I don't know,
yeah, I
temperament?
would say
Yeah.
so. Yeah, yeah. I'm
Is that something? Okay.
hugely temperament and sort of energy driven. Like
Hmm.
that's a huge both a problem and an asset for
Right.
me. Like when I get this energy spikes, I can be really productive and have so much fun, sort of, and engage with people and talk. But when I am when I feel down, I get very down, sort of.
Right. Yeah. So let's
So
talk
it's
about that.
this.
When someone makes you upset and when you feel down, do you feel responsible to deal with it? Do you feel responsible to get yourself back into a positive place?
It's so hard to say who's responsible. I don't think I. It's not like I feel I'm responsible per se. It's just that I want to feel better,
You want to feel
sort of.
better. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I try to make myself feel better
So I would think
because I.
everyone wants to feel better. Like if you're feeling bad, everyone
Yeah.
would want that, right?
Yeah.
So, but like, who's responsible for making you feel better?
Us- Usually other people.
Other people.
Yeah.
Uh
That
huh.
sounds so stupid, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. That's a really
Interesting.
interesting question, actually. I never thought about it.
Right. What about double deciding? Have you ever seen yourself do that in your life?
Um, well, I hadn't before I got my type,
Right.
but now I kind of see that I do it because in the audio files they sent me, they said that I had quite an easy way of taking my own perspective and other people's perspective, sort of,
Okay.
and juggling between the two in a way that single
And is
deciders
that true to
are.
you? Does that ring true?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of does. I still have quite big like decider issues, but I suppose they're
Tell me
not
about
that
your decider issues then.
just sort of what are those people thinking about me and oh I should do this so they will like me, or yeah, that whole game
Uh huh.
playing, sort of, or sort of I imagine myself having this weird angry conversations with people about what's good in music or something stupid like that,
Hmm.
or something. um
Um, what about what
but
works
yeah,
in the world? Is that something that's important to you? That things work?
no.
No.
No, not at all.
Is it more important that something's true rather than it works?
I don't know. I have no judgment between any of them. I sort of uh, I like when things are authentic
Right.
a lot,
Yeah.
sort of, and I don't know. It's I don't know. It's I never thought about these questions.
Uh huh.
Uh, what's true? What works? No, I wouldn't say I care about what works a lot.
Uh
In
huh.
in what sense do you mean what works?
Um. So let's see. Let's say there's this psychological paradigm, right? This psychological way of thinking that
Mm.
actually is effective in your life,
Mm.
and it works. It gives you results.
Yeah, then I care about it.
You care about it.
Mm.
What if it's just not true, but it still gives you results? That's okay for you?
Yeah,
Yeah. You don't care
yeah.
if it's true as long as it
In a
works.
sense, no. But I like to think that I can take the concepts that works and not take them seriously enough that it gets gets destructive because it's not true, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But as long as it's working, it's not destructive, right?
Yeah, that depends, because I don't want to get stuck in a paradigm
Okay.
also.
Right. Getting
That,
stuck, the freedom thing.
oh yeah, yeah,
There you
precisely. Yeah,
go. Okay.
yeah. It's interesting. I've never thought about these questions. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing now, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really interesting.
Okay. What about your SI? Your
Yeah,
bodily sensations, the sensory, the
mm.
information, that like the data.
Yeah. I've always been kind of, the whole concept about missing SE in ordinary MBTI, sort of that INFPs and INTPs being really, really clumsy or something. I know
Okay.
it's not an objective personality at all, but sort of, I've always had trouble getting the SE stuff to work. Sort of like, it's getting better, but it takes a long time for me to learn uh, body stuff, sort of dancing, and
I
if
see.
the dance instructor is standing over there facing you and they're doing this, won't get that. I will do completely the wrong way, sort of, and sort of combining sort of that looking and then doing myself. I'm
Right.
terrible at, sort of.
I see. What
But
about like, sorry, go ahead.
but I do. No, no, you say it was another topic. Yeah.
What about facts? Do you get stuck on facts sometimes? Do you see that happen?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Um, I have a pretty easy to remember stuff that I've sort of thought about and process, and especially if it's stuff I value. But I do see myself being stuck with um, sensory stuff, sort of.
Do you have an example? Do you or a general even?
Um, Now this is where the blast comes in, I think.
Right.
uh,
Well,
I don't
lack
know.
of sensory is also lack of examples. So maybe you can give a
Yeah,
general
yeah. I
idea
sort of,
of how that
I
happens.
yeah, like I've had, for example, a girlfriend of mine became really angry because I missed out on a certain piece of information in a text that I was sort of
Okay.
writing to her that someone else has written, and it's always stuff like that, sort of. And
Right.
I sort of disregard sensory information and
Uh-huh.
jump to conclusions
Right.
instead. So I can sort of read a text someone has written, and I will jump over pretty crucial parts of it.
Right. Because you just want
So
the concept. You don't care about all of
yeah,
the
yeah,
details.
precisely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And when you get the concept, do you feel like you were missing details? You got the wrong concept? You jump to the wrong conclusion? Does that happen sometimes?
I don't know really. I think, yeah, I jumped to the wrong conclusion. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, all the time, sort of.
Uh-huh.
There was there was
And it's
this
because you're
time.
missing sensory.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because there was this time, they're really funny. In Google Mail, they have this that a mail conversation ends up underneath, and I with the band I'm playing in, we got an email um, from a person that had hired us for a gig, and we had a long conversation, and I had sent them a contract 3 months before.
Right.
Uh, but then 1 week before the gig, they emailed me again and about some stuff, sort of um, practical stuff, and I thought I just opened the mail and read the first mail again, so I thought she was asking for another contract
Mm.
again, sort of. So so I wrote to her quite angrily, sort of, what do you mean what do you mean? I already sent you a contract, and sort of,
Right.
and and then the others in the band had to tell me sort of, oh, you missed that
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 piece of
wasn't the mail she
information.
wrote.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
always small stuff like that, sort of,
Right. Yeah.
where I notice
Interesting.
it. I sort of, yeah, I sort of skip the sensory and think I know what it's all about
Right.
at a premature
Have you
stage.
taken steps to try to resolve that, to try to pay more attention to the sensory, to try to be more meticulous?
I really should.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
just goes against your freedom. It goes against your need for
yeah,
freedom to do that.
yeah, yeah. It's sort of, it's not a savior state, and it's not something I
You're
like
responsible to do. Yeah.
doing. No, precisely. I kind of just, it's really really immature, but I kind of just hope that it solves itself.
Yeah. Do you put that, so you
Which
put that responsibility on other people, that they take care of the sensory and the details? Does that
I
ever
wouldn't
happen?
say I wouldn't say so. Yeah, yeah, that can happen for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I it's mostly that I just forget about it since it's not a something I like
Uh-huh.
doing. Or sort of, it's more that I like to have my thoughts on the concepts and the abstract stuff and the what I value and the music. But then there's all this other stuff that I know I need to do, and but I sort of, I'm so interested in these things over here that these suffer.
Right. So sensory, you should be able to do quite a lot of at least audio sensory with the music, right? You should be able to play with other
Mm,
people. Like that's you should, and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
responsible to that,
yeah,
and
yeah. Sure, I have a
know
very
how to move
keen,
your hands and move how to have
yeah,
to
sort
move,
of,
at least in when
yeah.
you're
But the
playing.
whole, I would say the whole physical part of the whole of playing an instrument, for example, is not something that has been a strength of mine. My
I
strength
see.
lies more in the way of sort of having musical patterns
Hmm.
and sort of being able to pick from them one
Right.
by one. And I've sort of consumed so much, listened to so much music my whole life.
Right.
Everything from like pop music to classical music to folk music and jazz, and sort of played in most of the genres also. So I have, it feels like I have this like library of musical material which I can just pick and choose from in at will, sort of, in a very
That's really cool.
very handy way, sort of.
Yeah.
And
That's really cool.
it's sort of like when I was like 8 years old or something, I started listening to the Beatles a lot,
Okay.
and I can still remember all their songs and picture the album, sort of. Uh,
Wow.
and I will see the songs like this, and I can zoom in on every song
Wow.
and can
That's a
feel
real
it.
visual memory too there.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that in other stuff as well.
Is your memory more visual?
Yeah,
I see.
but it's also audio, audio. You say
Yeah.
that? Yeah, because I can then zoom in on each song or tune and sort of hear exactly how the guitars play and things like that. And
And
this,
all of the parts in the song too,
yeah,
or just
yeah.
the main melody, or
No, just like all of them. I can hum Queen, the guitar solos in most Queen songs,
right.
like like that level of
And what about
nerdiness.
the bass line?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, because you're bass,
I'm a
yeah.
bass player,
Right,
so
there you go. Yeah.
I go from the bass line and then up, sort of,
Uh-huh.
what I experience.
And the drum pattern.
Yeah, I suppose it's more connected to the instruments I've actually played, but
Right.
I do hear the drums also, and sort of I can remember them a lot.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
So yes, that's a really good SI memory then, masculine SI.
mm,
So at least you
yeah, I
have
think
access to
so.
that in a way.
Yeah, yeah, precisely, and that's a huge asset as I see it
Uh-huh.
in music and in writing.
What about finding routines and sticking to a routine?
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, do you
that's
wake
hard.
up at the same time
Yeah,
every morning?
no,
No.
no, I have I'm absolutely horrible at routines.
Do
It's
you
like
have any
my
traditions that you do? Any I don't know, favorite things that you continuously do? Like that's
that would be like morning coffee with
right.
YouTube stuff
I
about
see.
psychology or MBTI and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But that's just because I value it.
Right. Yeah,
Sort of.
it's not because you've put that in place. So that you've put a habit
No,
in place.
yeah.
Right.
I try to form habits, but it's mostly that I try to incorporate doing stuff and then kind of doing it more often. It's not
Hmm.
like I'm doing them each day, sort of. It's just they sneak their way into my life, sort of.
Right.
I
Habits. Okay.
Yeah,
What about breaking bad habits? Is that something you've been able to do, or that you do you have bad habits?
yeah, yeah. Sure. I do. I think I'm pretty good at breaking bad habits. Um, like if I were to notice that I watch too much Netflix or something, then I have no problem just stopping
Hmm.
doing that. I think I do have a hard time uh, putting the phone away these days. But
Right.
uh,
Yeah, but I think that doesn't
sort
matter
of,
on your type. That's just
yeah, yeah,
what's happening
precisely. That's
today.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um, then again, it's also I get a lot from my phone, sort of, because I'm
Right.
chatting a lot. I'm very
Yeah.
close. I'm a very close friend of Sarah the Hond, who
Okay.
who you
INFP. Yeah.
interviewed. Yeah, precisely. So we talk all the time, sort of, about objective personality and
Cool.
stuff like that, and sort of analyze our behaviors and talk about it. It's really very interesting.
Interesting. And do when you talk to her, do you see that you're more on the NE side than the FI side?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were speculating about what was different between us, because we could
Right.
see such huge differences
She's
in some ways, sort of.
consume. She's consume. She's not consume play, is she?
Consume sleep.
Consume sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And she's play last also,
Right.
and
Okay. Yeah.
blast last. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was actually talking to her a couple of hours ago, and we talked about uh, what was it? It was something to do with me NEing and FIing later, while she
Okay.
FIs and then NEs,
I see.
sort of. Because
Uh-huh.
I was telling her about me being able to put a reason uh, on something, and then it changes the way I value something.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Like, would you come up with a concept and then decide afterwards if you value that concept?
yeah,
Right.
precisely. Like
And then
like
she would more find out what she values and try to develop concepts out of what she already values.
yeah, she would start with the feeling. Yeah,
Right.
and like a couple of days ago, I'm sort of continuously discovering new music, and
Right.
it always takes a while,
To know if
about a
you like
month
it
or
or not.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. And a couple of days ago, I just found out, I discovered AC/DC,
Okay.
which was
Missing
which is
information.
like,
There we go.
yeah, precisely. And I was sitting on the bus on the way to town, and I was listening to Back in Black,
Okay.
uh, and I just it's super silly, but I started crying.
Oh wow.
Back in Black. I mean,
Right.
that's super weird,
Yeah.
but but I just, and then I had this sentence in my head that, okay, now I know why these guys are the best in the world at
Right.
what they do. Sort
I
of,
saw something really
they,
cool about their bass player too for ACDC. That like
okay,
the
yeah,
bass isn't really complicated. It's a simple bass, but
yeah,
the voicings that he chooses is not classical voicings. He would go to
okay,
things
yeah,
that normally you wouldn't go to in a
oh
bass,
yeah. He goes
and it
to
would
like
add
guitars,
to the
yeah,
whole. Yeah, it was so. Okay,
yeah,
as a
yeah.
bass player, I don't know if you appreciate that or not.
Yeah. I love it,
Yeah.
and sort of that. And I also, because I was listening to them, and sort of the guitar part and the drum, and when the drums enter, that's so tight and that's so groovy, sort of,
Right.
and then the melody of that song goes like in a different rhythm. That sort of it fits together so well with other parts, and it's so sort of, it's simple, but it's so well made and so
Right.
good in structure. So that just hit me in my
In your
masculine
FI.
FI. Yeah.
There you go.
Sort of.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. Do you have anything about your type that you figured out that you think other people should know? Any struggles? Any?
I don't know about our other ENFPs, but it really is about um, difficulty to focus. I feel I have like this sort of ADD, ADHD vibe going on all the time in my head, sort of, and sort of it's not a judging thing, because that's also another thing I couldn't relate to with the INFP stereotype, sort of that they always know what they want, because I'm more like open-eyed and wide-eyed, just observing and taking in stuff, and sort of then finding out the value or non-value of something.
Interesting. Yeah. The other thing
Yeah,
is I'm
because
not getting that much crazy any from you. Like you're able to
no,
stay on one topic. You don't go on
yeah,
100 tangents all the time.
no, yeah.
Yeah. So like, is that something you would learn to do, or like, how would you stop yourself from going on tangents when you're in conversations? Because you're like really on point here.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear. I feel like that anything is just the mind wanting to drift every time, sort of. I could feel it just when I said that sentence, sort of
Right.
that it just gets blank, so and it goes somewhere up there or something.
I see. Right.
So that's at least how I view how I see any in myself, and
Maybe your
also
masculine SI is helping. Do you think
I
with
think
staying
so.
on
Yeah,
target? Yeah.
yeah. And I also stayed home the entire day yesterday, sort of practicing for this. So
I see. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
and
So like,
I
but
sort of
normally
got,
you'd be more random in what you're talking about. You'll change the subject more often. You'll find more tangents, more interconnectedness,
yeah. I'm not sure, but what I've
or at least when you're
noticed
thinking to
about,
yourself and focusing on
yeah,
your own
yeah,
stuff.
constantly.
Yeah. Right.
I have a hard time sort of. I have to set a timer on the phone, sort of. That's now I
Wow.
have to sing. Now I have to sing in 25 minutes, and really
Wow.
try to do that, and I get so much result from doing that. It's
Right.
ridiculous,
Yeah. So that's the
sort of,
routine you've
because
set for yourself. That's like a control that you
yeah,
found. Yeah.
yeah, precisely, and I really need that. I see, because otherwise I will go to the piano and pick a note and start singing, and after a couple of phrases I will go and check my phone, or I will start thinking about just having become an ENFP, having
Right.
become um, sort of and I've also noticed a weird thing about this whole anything and jumping to concepts is that I have to become comfortable first. So so if I feel pressure, I'm not jumping as much. Then
I
I'm sort
see.
of listening and trying to fit the things
The
I
pressure
say to.
focuses you at least a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
So it can be
Yeah,
positive to have pressure on you.
yeah, in a way, yeah. And something I've noticed a lot is that I get very much processing done by talking to people,
Okay.
like we do now,
The
sort of,
play, right? The
because
play,
it feels like the things I'm saying right now I have never said before,
or never thought before.
not or even thought before.
Right.
Precisely, yeah. And
Uh-huh.
I've said this to Sarah a lot of times. Sort of, it feels like I'm thinking as I'm writing, and it just comes out, and I don't know where it's coming from,
I don't
sort
know
of.
where it's going, and
No,
yeah.
yeah, but it's this process by sharing and interacting, sort of,
Uh-huh.
and I think that's play energy.
Yeah, the concepts that you gather, do you find that you'll be able to use them later? Is that why it's kind of cool to gather them? Do you find that they'll be something you can use in a moment, or
Yeah, it's like no, I just feel that they might be useful
Right.
in the future, sort of, because they provide new possibilities.
Right.
And I sort of like, for example, there at a party I was at a couple of months ago, there was someone from somewhere in South America. And see, this is where sensory facts come in. I have totally forgotten where.
Right.
He was from there, and he was telling me, because he had ancestors from the Native Americans,
Uh-huh.
and he was telling me about their concept of the future, and that they thought of the future as heading that way,
Behind you.
sort of backwards. Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
The future there, and the past is that way. And that just gave me so much energy just to think about that. It's really,
Right.
it's weird.
To wrap your head around it. Yeah.
Yeah, just sort of the possibilities that I can derive from that kind of
Uh-huh.
new perspective, because I think I like that it shows how things can change completely.
Right. So you like
Um,
that kind of thing where there's lots of possibilities to something, and you don't. Do you find that you're able to narrow down those possibilities? Do you want to, or that's not the way you should do it? Like it's wrong to narrow down possibilities.
it is hard to narrow down, but I think it's sort of happening more and more, um, since I do a lot of I think more about them these days, sort of, and
Right.
sort of working with the OP or OP, or what you
Cool.
call.
Do you have something that you want to promote? Band website? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. You can check out my band. We're called Kizelo Mleko. It means sour milk in Serbian. It's
Oh, in
it's
Serbian.
it's totally random. Yeah. So it's Kizelo.
We'll put a link in the description. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Because no one ever remembers that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. It was really nice
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah, you too. It
Have a
was
good
really
one.
fun. Yeah. See you.